You can download freely this practical notebook from my website. Experiment 11 Part B in the practical notebook. Left side page of same experiment.
Hello students, today we are going to start with experiment number 11, that is experiment number 11, charging and discharging of a capacitor and to measure the time constant. The apparatus used will be capacitor, a resistance box, voltmeter, power supply, stopwatch, a two-way key and connecting wires. A resistor, a capacitor, resistance box, voltmeter, stopwatch, a two-way key and a power supply. We make connections according to the circuit diagram. That is, we attach the battery with the capacitor, voltmeter that is parallel to the capacitor. Then we attach the resistance. This resistance is actually the resistance box that we were using, and with the two-way key. For the charging purposes, what we will do is we will actually close this key too, and then we will charge the capacitor. For the discharging purpose, we will open this key and close key 1. Before we start the experiment, we have to make sure that the capacitor is completely discharged. So for that purpose, we will close the key 2 and see that there is no reading on the voltmeter. Now our capacitor is completely discharged. Further, what we will do is, we will turn on the power supply and we will set the voltage to about 6 to 7 volts. Depending upon your specification of the apparatus. Now we will insert the key 1, we will close the key 1 and we will start the experiment. As we can see that the needle is moving. So as soon as the needle starts moving, what we will do is we will start the stopwatch. Let me repeat the experiment for you again. So let's discharge the capacitor first. So it is discharging now. So as soon as it is discharged, what we will do is we will start the experiment again. And with that, what we will do, as soon as we put this key in key 1, that is we close key 1, we will start the stopwatch. And we take readings for every 10 to 15 intervals. What we have observed, we put it in the table, that is time and voltage. For complete readings, consult the book. Now the capacitor is completely charged. As we can see that the needle over here is stationary. Now for the discharging purpose, what we will do is we will take out this key 1 or we will open the circuit, and as soon as we do that, we will start the stopwatch. We will take the reading for every 5 intervals and then we will note down this reading in the table. What we have observed, we put in the table for the discharging of the capacitor, for time and for voltage. From the table, we will take the values of time versus voltage and then we will make a graph. For charging of the capacitor, a graph like this will be formed. And for the discharging of the capacitor, a graph like this one will be formed. From the graph, the value of V0, that is the maximum voltage, you can find that. And at 37% of the voltage or 0.37 or 0.37 multiplied by V0 will give you the time constant in the graph. From the graph, the value of the time constant comes out to be 10.64. You can compare this value with the theoretical value and find the difference. We must be familiar with our apparatus. We must be familiar how to start and stop the stopwatch and then reset it. We should make sure that our apparatus, specifically our voltmeter, should not have any zero error before we start the experiment. The capacitor that we use should have a high value. We should use the high resistance during the experiment. We should make sure that our capacitor is completely discharged before we start the experiment. We should be familiar with our apparatus, that is the power supply right now, and we should know how it works and where to set the voltage. We should not use too much voltage as to go out of the scale. We should make sure that we handle it carefully and keep the values within the scale.
You can take this objective physics practicals from Ilmi Book Depot, Urdu Bazaar, Lahore, or you can download directly from my website. Your readings may be different from these readings. Check these readings as a reference. Thank you.